The book of James is short and dense. And the more you read it, the more you notice. He keeps coming back to the same core things. There's a rhythm to James. He doesn't lay it out like a textbook, but woven through the whole letter are a few key themes he keeps pressing on. Let's name them so we can watch for them as we walk through each verse. 1. Wholeness over hypocrisy. James isn't interested in religious performance. He's after integrity, a life that holds together. That's why he calls out double-mindedness, favoritism, false speech, and half-hearted obedience. He's not being harsh. He's being honest. A fractured life won't stand under pressure. 2. Faith that acts. James famously says, faith without works is dead. He's not contradicting Paul. He's confronting the kind of faith that sounds right, but never moves. James wants us to trust God in a way that shows up. In how we treat people, in how we speak, in how we respond to trials, in how we handle money, time, and power. Faith that doesn't act isn't faith. 3. Speech that reflects the heart. Our words are powerful. James says they're like a spark that can set a whole forest on fire. He warns us against careless, angry, judgmental speech. Not just because it hurts others, but because it reveals what's inside. For James, spiritual maturity always shows up in your mouth. 4th, hearing the word versus doing the word. James is obsessed with this gap, the gap between what we hear and what we actually live. He uses the image of a person looking in the mirror walking away and forgetting what they saw. For James, Scripture isn't just a source of truth. It's a mirror God holds up to our lives, and if we are really listening, we'll be changed. 5. Spiritual endurance in the middle of pressure. James is writing to people who are scattered, suffering, and struggling, so he doesn't just give them instruction, he gives them perspective. He says, count it all joy when you face trials. Why? Because trials produce something. They grow perseverance. They mature faith. James doesn't dismiss pain, he reframes it. 6. Wisdom from above. James knows not all wisdom is the same. There's a kind of wisdom that's self-centered, bitter, and boastful, and it leads to chaos and disorder. But there's another kind, a better kind. He calls it wisdom from above and describes it like this: pure, peace-loving, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruit. This kind of wisdom isn't just about knowledge, it's about character. It shows up in how we treat people. It leads to peace, not pride. And it's something we can ask God for, especially in the middle of trials. Wholeness, action, endurance, obedience, words, wisdom. These aren't just random moral lessons. They're threads James weaves together to show us what real, lived-out faith looks like. This letter isn't a checklist. It's a mirror and an invitation to live like we actually trust the God we say we believe in. Next up, we'll look at the heart of James's theology and why it's more robust and more relevant than many people think.